Hello, this is the Sideshow, and I'm Theodore Parker, and this is February 8th, 2022, part two of today's program and broadcast. I didn't want to just leave things kind of like hanging in the air with a little bit of atmospheric content about Facebook and Amazon, Alphabet, Google, based on the financial report that's come through over the weekend and Monday. So let's start. Let's start this way. Um, let's start with Alphabet, Google slash Microsoft slash Apple, and I'm gonna do it this way. It's kind of hard to get in front of a company that was like first out to shoot. Younger people are always amazed at how come an older person knows this or knows that, and they won't quite let a younger person take over based on their generation's view of things, okay? Because the Hollywood version of Microsoft, Apple, catch a fire. Okay, now time goes by, we're here into this modern age, and most recently, Bill Gates stepped down out of the position of being the top person. Okay, but Microsoft, Apple, Google, all that stuff is still continuing to roll on. Okay, so, and it hasn't affected him financially to step back. Amazon, virtually the same thing. All the money, all the tie-up with Jeff Bezos and everything, he stepped back. Although he still owns a large portion of Amazon, his stepping back did not, affect him financially. It did not affect the way the company was rolling, and it's still going on. Now, that much being said, outside the country, inside the country, governments are, by nature of their position, commissioned to make sure that no one business forms a monopoly to have the whole market to themselves. So you might hear that a company based in the United States is doing well, and then outside the country they might be involved in some type of litigation about how much they control. iPhone with China, things of this nature like that, for instance. Now we got Facebook. Now Facebook, with all its various apps, properties, and portion of the market, is following behind Apple, Microsoft, etc., etc. So at the very most, by the nature of the business, they can only imitate or try to provide a similar service to the people that they do business with. Okay. But, as is comments from the world of finance, people are pretty sure, even with that drop in the market, that Meta, Facebook, will probably continue. Most likely. It's not just going to, but this change to Meta, when it was proposed, was a projection not to really receive any benefits to almost 2030. So what we're looking 8 years more down the road, which is almost like the government talks to us as American citizens. We got this going, but the debt to be paid off in 8 years, regardless it's 1.5 trillion, halfway there, 15 years or whatever. So it's based on a projection. But what the public appreciates is a well-run company. They don't want, and I myself, I'm not going to go into a company that's giving me bad products. Why would I buy rotten apples when I can go next door and buy shiny fresh ones. So a lot of things that have happened with Facebook, have caused situations just like the idea of the privacy information in regards to the election with Trump. Okay, I wasn't entirely clear on it, but now I've seen that it does have a label. Cambridge Analytica. Sorry. But anyway, so now that's labeled, filed, classified, and put away. Then we have the lady coming forward with all her conversations, disclosures, feelings, etc. So the government's waded in regards to Facebook. So some comments could be that Mark Zuckerberg, after having established the company and pretty much ran it since 2004, instead of being involved with its growth, kind of back down a little bit and be involved in some other things. Maybe even relinquishing that position and stepping back and still keeping his financial holdings secure. That's just me, my observations. I like to tell people, you outside looking in, I'm inside looking out, which gives us a different perspective of the same thing. So this is why that is why I have part 2 today, because I didn't just want to leave things willy-nilly hanging up in the air. What does he mean? That's my take on it. You have billionaire row. All of them have had their situations. So now we have another situation with Facebook, which is now Meta, not only financially, but with some of that decision-making process involved in being in charge of it. Anyway, this is today, February 8th, 2022. And since I'm over here on YouTube, at the bottom, you can see some likes, comments, and share. And I think there might even be a space for subscribe. Do that if you want to, Use all those buttons and, go ahead and get involved. In the meantime, that's it. Hashtag.